But we begin this hour in Toronto, where the Prime Minister visited a memorial today for the victims of last week's mass shooting. Justin Trudeau laid flowers and appeared to say a short prayer on the Danforth in the city's East End. In the morning, he attended a funeral for one of the victims, 18-year-old Reese Fallon. There was also a service today for the other person killed, 10-year-old Juliana Kozis. At the scene of the shooting, Trudeau said he was moved by how much the community has come together.
The strength of community comes through moments of resilience like this. I am moved by how strong Torontonians have been over this year of tragedies and continue to stand with all of us.
The CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick is on the Danforth and was there when Trudeau visited. She has more on what he had to say about last week's shooting and the victims.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau attended the funeral this morning of 18-year-old Reese Fallon and then came here to the memorial site along the Danforth. This is where Reese Fallon was struck by bullets and where she died last Sunday night. He came and laid some flowers at this fountain here and then took a few moments of reflection, and then he spoke to reporters. He talked about the resilience of this community here along the Danforth, how they've come together in the wake of this tragedy, how people need to respect each other, listen to each other, and comfort each other. And he also talked personally about how it's 20 years ago this year that he lost his own younger brother. And he said that was on his mind this morning when he was at the funeral. And part of what he told the young people who were there this morning, the friends of Reese Fallon, he had a message for them. Take a listen to what he told us about what he was telling them.
I just wanted to tell them that they were going to be remembering and celebrating Reese throughout their lives. I mean, still today, people come up to me who went to camp with my little brother, who remembered how he touched their lives in different ways. And I just wanted to tell those young people and everyone who is grieving and mourning that our loved ones, particularly extraordinary, beautiful ones like the two girls we lost, will be with us forever.
And Trudeau was also asked about the idea of gun control and a handgun ban in Canada. That's something that Toronto Mayor John Tory and City Council has been talking about, and they actually voted in favor of a few days ago. They're trying to put the pressure on the federal government and the Prime Minister to do more to try and prevent these kinds of shootings from happening in Toronto. There have been a number of shootings this summer already, not just this one here on the Danforth. He said his government is looking at a broad range of options, particularly for the long term, but for the short term, he said he was here to pay his respects and pay tribute to this community. That funeral for Reese Fallon was held here in Toronto. Her friends, family, classmates gathering to say their goodbyes. She had just graduated from high school. She was set to begin university this fall, studying in a nursing program at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario. She was also interested in politics. She was a member of the Young Liberals here in Toronto. The other young victim, Juliana Kozis, her funeral was also this morning. She was struck and killed by the bullets while she was out on the Danforth with her family last Sunday night. She was from Markham, Ontario, and at the age of 10, already a competitive synchronized swimmer. Her teammates devastated by the loss of their friend, their classmates, family and friends, again gathering to pay their respects and say goodbye to her. They were the two victims who were killed in this attack, 13 others injured. Some of them are still in hospital. Megan Fitzpatrick, CBC News, Toronto.
CBC News spoke to people who attended today's funeral for Reese Fallon. One man who went was one of the first people on the scene of April's van attack in another part of the city. He told us he didn't know Reese, but said he feels her loss because of his own experience with tragedy. He described the service to us.
It was wonderful and amazing. What a great family Reese she had, and what a wonderful person she was, and how much compassionate and caring she was for friends. And we heard from her friends, teachers, relatives, neighbors, and it was just so sad to realize who she was and what a great loss for our community.
In addition to the two people killed in last week's shooting, 13 others were wounded. The shooter took his own life with a confrontation with police.